Welcome to the Empowered Aging Podcast. Your host is Michelle, a physical therapist passionate about helping older adults stay active, mobile, and independent. Let's dive into today's topic.
Today, I want to talk about something that is really near and dear to my heart, and that is fear of falling. Or, looked at another way, lack of confidence. In my many years of working with people in their homes, I never ceased to be amazed by how many people felt the need to touch the furniture, touch the walls, when they didn't really need any support to walk. They just felt like they needed that extra little touch. And that fear placed them at greater risk of falling. That fear caused them to move differently. Their steps got smaller. They started avoiding going out, avoiding walking on different surfaces. Their posture started to change. Even though they'd actually never had a fall, they'd just become fearful because people, either their family or their doctors, would tell them, oh, you got to be careful. Don't do this, don't do that. Maybe you need to start using a walker. And it just put fear in them, not caution, right? Caution is a realistic feeling of, okay, I'm going to be careful, right? I'm not going to walk over slick ice, but you're not going to hold yourself back necessarily. Caution is being smart. Fearful, that's a whole different ball of wax right there, you know? That's just holding people back. So let's talk about what fear does. Like I said, it changed people's way of walking. And then as you start to change the way you walk, and start to use these surfaces to steady you, you're actually getting weaker and less flexible. And you're taking away your body's ability to recover because you're not challenging yourself anymore. You know, when we walk over uneven ground, let's say, just regular uneven ground in the yard, our body is always reacting. We might hit a little hole in the ground. We might hit a hill here and there. And our body is constantly adjusting itself to keep us upright so that we don't fall. Or, you know, we might even stumble a little bit, misstep. But that's okay. Our body is learning how to right ourselves. But if we don't put ourselves in those situations, the body loses the ability to do that. It's like not playing ball for a while. Maybe you were really good at playing ball and you kind of stop playing. Well, you lose the skills. We can just as easily lose the skills of agility, balance, strength, and flexibility by not using them, by not challenging ourselves. Now, I'm not saying you should go out and, do a huge hike if that's not something you've done in a while. But I do caution you against being driven by fear. Caution, not so bad. That's just being safe. Being fearful holds you back. If you've been in this cycle for a while, maybe you've realized that you've been holding on to things, holding on to furniture for more than just a few weeks, then you might need a little more intervention, right? You might want to work with a physical therapist to kind of help you get that confidence built back up. But if it's something that you've just recently noticed, then there might be a few things that you can do pretty easily. And that's maybe starting with just being aware. When you're walking through the house, Do you find that you're just automatically reaching for things without actually needing it? Try letting go. Try just walking normally. You can be next to the furniture if you were to need it, but not actually touching it. See how you feel doing that. I've found that actually some people, when they're going to reach for something, it actually becomes a really bad habit. People will start to reach for the furniture prematurely. And then they're actually more likely to fall because they're leaning outside their base of support. They're leaning too far away to catch that next piece of furniture. And then they miss. Their hand slides off the couch or the table or the wall. And then they end up on the floor. So try not reaching for it. You could also try some other kind of walking drills when you're next to a counter in the kitchen or behind a couch that you could hold to if you needed. See if you can take some longer steps. Do that forward and backward. You can even hold on at first. If you're taking steps that are kind of outside your comfort zone, hold on to something. Take those bigger steps, keeping that posture tall. See how that feels. You could also just work on rocking your weight around, forward, backward, sideways, just allowing your body to feel that movement and know how to recover. It's natural for us to shift our weight. Right? Just think about when you're going to reach for something up high, we have to shift our weight. And our body knows what to do with that if we continue to give it that challenge, the practice. But if we start to move smaller, we start to move stiff, small steps, shuffling, our body loses the ability to react like that, to know what to do when you shift far out of your balance. So we need to continue to give it that practice. Standing and just shifting our weight can be a simple way to start that. I can't stress enough how important it is to continue to challenge ourselves. Again, it doesn't have to be a huge jump in challenge, but push yourself just a little bit outside of that comfort zone. And again, caution is not a bad thing. You can do these challenges with caution. That means standing next to something that you could hold on to, but not actually hold to it unless you really need to. Keep it within arm's reach, but without holding on. There is something about seeing someone regain that confidence. I do a fall recovery workshop every month at the Senior Resource Center here in Greensboro. And I do that because so many programs out there discuss fall prevention. That's great. It really is. But there's that whole other aspect of fall recovery. What do you do if you fall? What happens then? And sometimes it's that not knowing what will happen, that unknown, that makes people even more fearful because they don't get on the floor. So if they don't get on the floor routinely, how do they know they can get up off the floor? So if they fall, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to get off the floor. So I like to clear that up. Get rid of that fear of the unknown. So in this workshop, I teach people how to get up from the floor. And many of the people who come haven't been on the floor in a long time. Or they do it, they've fallen and they've needed help to get up. So I bring several mats with me so that they're can be high off the ground. And we practice from there. They get down on hands and knees on this higher mat and they can get up more easily. And as that confidence builds, we lower and lower and lower the height of the mats until they can get close to or all the way to the floor. And it is always just so, it just feels so good to see these people get up and have this smile on their faces because they didn't think they could do that. And it just makes them so happy and proud of themselves. And they'll say, I didn't think I could do that. But now I've helped instill some confidence in them so that they can start doing that on a more regular basis. The more they practice that on and off the floor, the more confident they're going to get. With that confidence comes better movement because their fear of falling has reduced. People who can routinely get on and off the floor and have that confidence are actually less likely to end up on the floor by accident. Doing it on purpose is a whole different story, right? There's something about that confidence of getting down and back up, even if you need a chair to help you up. That's okay. Hopefully we can get you to the point that you don't need it. But with some support, could you do it? If you can, keep doing it. The confidence is what makes such a big difference. So my challenge to you is challenge your body to improve your confidence. Whether it's getting on and off the floor or simply walking without holding on to the furniture and the walls, whatever is the right level for you. Once you're there, once you're confident in that one step, keep pushing yourself. Keep challenging yourself so that you can regain confidence to move more freely. If you need help with this, please, please, please reach out to me. This is my life's passion. I want people to feel confident with their movement. So whatever your issue is that's holding you back, please find help if you need it. Get that addressed so that you can move freely and confidently and independently. Reach out if you need me. I hope that helps, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us today. If this episode helped you learn something new, we hope you'll share it with someone who could benefit as well. Until next time, keep moving, stay strong, and take care of your body.